won't breathe the word to Keely. We're not on a date, and you can tell Keely anything
filming.
you would like.
Way to cut those strings.
I am stupid excited right now. I asked you guys a couple of weeks ago what this thing was, if you could guess what it is, and the bigger piece to it just came in. Woo! Some of you guys guessed it correctly. This just came in via UPS. The guy knocks on my door, says he has a super long package for me. No porno pun intended. And carries it on over saying it's pretty heavy. I was like, yes, sir, it's roughly 44 pounds. I'm going to open this bad boy up. I am so excited for this right now. Oh, look how beautiful this is. Oh, this is gorgeous. $500 later. It's about $400 and then $65 for shipping. So, you know, $465. I now have a beautiful barbell, but not just any barbell. This is a deadlift barbell, and specifically, this is an Okie Deadlift Barbell. One of the best barbells, hands down, for deadlifting. It's a deadlift specific bar, so you don't want to use it for anything else but deadlifting. And the Okies are known to have an amazing grip and a whole lot of whip, aka a lot of flexibility. So I'll show you what a regular barbell looks like next to it. Okay, so here's a fairly new, very standard 44-pound Olympic barbell. People call them 45 pounds. They're technically like 44 and change. Either way, they both weigh the same, but that's about where the similarities end. What you're going to notice is both of them being lined up evenly with the deadlift platform. The deadlift barbell is actually longer by a few inches than your regular Olympic barbell. And while it's longer, it's also thinner in the middle. Okay, this is the width of a normal bar. It's not a thick bar at all. It's a very standard bar. This is how thin the deadlift bar is. Huge difference in thinness there. And the knurling is, I don't know the exact specs on it offhand, but the knurling is incredible. It's not like any barbell you've ever used. It's meant for basically having a beautiful grip. I'm trying to zoom in as clear as I can for you guys. It's meant to have like just an amazing grip. This is the same barbell that you see Masthetics deadlifting in. You've seen Garrett Masthetics do his 700-pound block pull with this, and you've seen them do all their deadlift PRs in this. A lot of the elite powerlifters, Dan Green, Eric Lillybridge, every time you see somebody deadlifting and the bar's just like bending stupidly, that's one of these bars. There's other types. There's Texas deadlift bars and the Okie deadlift bars, like the two most popular ones. But everyone I've talked to, and I looked up a lot of reviews on both barbells because I wanted to make sure my investment was going to be worth it. All reviews, everybody I've spoken to, all point to the Okie. They all said the Okie was the best, hands down. Felt the most comfortable with the grip, had the most whip in it. So besides the length and the thickness, there's also a significant difference, and that is, of course, the whip, the main function of the barbell. Now, I'm not sure exactly how far into the future you guys are seeing this footage, but I'm filming this today on a Wednesday before my powerlifting meet. So we just finished practicing commands, and it's the last time touching weights. A regular barbell like this, if I push it down, it does not budge at all. But if I go and push down this barbell, even being on the floor. So all in all, the main purpose of a deadlift barbell is the thinner grip, the better knurling, and the longer length of the bar allows for it to bend and whip in the middle really easily. You can put 225 on there, and if you jiggle it around, you'll feel the weights kind of bounce around on either end a lot more than a regular barbell. This allows you to, when you finally have heavy weight on like 450 and up, it allows you to pull the slack out of the bar amazingly. And you can pull the slack out of the bar so high, it's, you know, an inch or two up your shins before the weights even lift the ground. Kind of the same effect that, you know, loading the bar with bumper plates might have in a bar, but even more extreme. And that's amazing for pulling the slack and getting a good start going. And if you can deadlift correctly to use a deadlift bar, it'll help you because as you pick the middle of the bar up, the weights bend down, but then halfway up, they'll whip back up in a bouncing motion. And if you pull correctly and you get your bottom up really fast, the weights will pop back up, and that momentum will actually help you lock out the weights. But here's the catch. People see deadlift barbells, and they instantly think it's going to make the deadlift skyrocket. Oh, he's using a deadlift bar, he can lift more. And that's not really the case at all. Deadlift barbells are very specific, and you have to deadlift technique-wise correctly to make one work or get the most use out of it. How like Max tuning deadlifts, for an example, he starts off very high and does kind of a jerking motion. That would actually probably cause the deadlift bar to pull him back to the floor. If you jerk it up too much, the bar will will bend and whip like that, and the weights will bounce, but then as they come back down, the momentum will actually pull you back down. Again, Eric Lillybridge, you check him out on YouTube. His deadlift technique is perfect for using a deadlift barbell. Same with Masthetics. So the deadlift bar can actually make your deadlift worse for you, go less smoothly if you don't know how to use it or you don't use it correctly. It can have no difference at all. I've talked to a friend of mine who trains with Eric Lillybridge, Jeremy Lowry, and he says he can pull the exact same amount with the deadlift bar or with the stiff bar. I've talked to some who get maybe a 5-10 pounds jump on the deadlift barbell, and the most extreme cases I've heard of is people getting up to about 30 pounds extra with the deadlift bar versus a regular bar. So why did I get this? Because the USAPL uses super stiff Eleiko bars, literally just for fun. Just for fun. You watch enough Eric Lillybridge, Dan Green type of videos, over time you're going to be wanting to use one of those barbells too. They just look so badass. And they actually has some good function. I was talking to Garrett of Masthetics, and he said to use them during my off season, you know, when I'm not in prep for a meet, would actually be good overload. If I can get a little bit more with them, with my deadlift using a deadlift bar than with a stiff bar, all that's going to do is help my overload and ultimately strengthen up my deadlift. So when I go back to a stiff bar, I'll be even stronger. And of course, if I'm training for USAPL meet, I'll switch back to only stiff bars. And if anything, I'll just use the deadlift bar for big PR days, literally just for fun. Not that serious. By the way, USAPL is not going to be like the only federation I compete in. I'll jump in whatever federations come around my area. Some use deadlift bars, some don't, but that is my new toy. I am so ecstatic right now. A couple of you called it. This is a Pro Lock collar, and basically you put it on here. There's a little Allen wrench underneath there, and you can screw it in and tighten it so it locks. And if you want to go above and beyond, you can put like a padlock on here. My goal was just to keep that on the bar so I can keep it in my gym, Ocean State Gym, and use it when I need to use it. And if I use a combination lock, you know, my friends can use it, or anybody who knows what they're doing can use it. I don't mind people using it. I just don't want it to be misused. I don't want to go in there and see somebody curling with this or trying to squat or bench with this barbell. And again, if somebody doesn't know how to use a deadlift barbell, or they don't even realize that there is such a thing, this deadlift bar might throw them off when they go to try to deadlift with it. So pretty much keep it restricted to me, my friends, and just anybody who at least knows what they're dealing with in the meantime. I forget where I got it. It was either eBay or just off of Google. I can't remember. I think eBay does have them. Amazon might have. No, I got it off eBay. I got it off eBay, I think. But it really just Google Okie bars, and you can find them for like 400 bucks.